Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how I make Ever's baby food. Ever is almost 6 months old, if you count by the week. He will be 24 weeks next week, and so this is about the time that they suggest to introduce solid. With my other kids, I never did baby food, like the pureed baby food, ever. I basically just breastfed until they were able to have table food, and then they just ate whatever we were eating. So I wanted to show you guys the way that I make this, the baby food, what his first foods are gonna be. Real quick, I just wanna let you know this is just stuff that I decided to do today because I know he's ready, and I want him to eat with us at dinner time. I want it to be a family thing, not wherever sits and eats by himself and then we all eat and he just sits there. Dinner time is very important to me because that's basically the only time that we are all together as a family. So I want Ever to eat with us. I just decided that it would be easier to make a whole bunch of food now and freeze it so that it will be ready for him to eat and I don't have to rush and quick try to mash anything up. You're so cute. You're so cute. So I'm going to show you how I make his food, and I'm going to show you the foods that I think are good for him to start with. I think that making your own baby food has so many benefits to it. Number one, it's cheaper. Number two, you know what is in your baby food. Going out and buying some of those jarred foods, I can't say that I won't ever do that. There's gonna be times where I might run out or we're on the go and he's hungry, so you know, I might do that. But there's a lot of added stuff in there so that it can be preserved on the shelves. When you make it your own, you know what is going in there, and basically what's going to go in his food is the vegetable and perhaps a little bit of water to make it a little bit thinner, and breast milk. That's it. So I know what is going into his food. Also, the fact that it is cheaper. I am finding things around our house that we already have in our refrigerator and our pantry, and I am just making that. There are a bunch of other vegetables and fruits that I'd like to make, but I don't have them right now, so I'm just going to start with what we have and make them. This is not necessarily whatever is going to be eating first, so if any of you guys see me cooking something, don't freak out and say, oh, they suggest you don't feed him this or whatever at first. I'm just making this so I have it because this is what I have on hand right now. Yeah, so he is about that age. I can't believe it. He is at the age to start eating, and he definitely seems ready. So I'm going to show you what I do, and yeah, hope it is helpful. Okay guys, so my decision at first was to start with some peas and carrots and avocado, but the only peas that I had at home were canned peas, and when I looked in the side of the can, it had added sugar and salt, so peas are out. We will not be making any peas this time. So instead of doing peas, I am doing avocado. I have some potatoes, banana, and carrots. Now, just to let you guys know, these won't necessarily be the first foods I am feeding him. These are just going to be the first foods that I'm making because this is what I have right now. So we're going to be doing avocados and carrots, probably the first foods that he will eat, and then some potato, and then I will start with some fruits. But I figured I would start everything now rather than rush around and try to make them when he actually is eating and I don't have time. So today we're just going to be cooking, and then we will be freezing his food. Okay, so basically with the avocado, all I'm going to do is just mash it up with a fork. I'm not going to stick it in the food processor because this is so easy to, it was nice and like super overripe, so I don't need to stick it in the food processor. So all I'm going to do is mash it with a fork. Then I'm going to add a tiny bit of water to it because it has to be a really watery consistency, and I'm also going to be adding some breast milk to it. I will show you what it looks like at the very end, but the avocado and probably the banana I will be mashing with a fork by myself. Okay, so already I have some carrots that are boiling on the stove, and then I'm going to stick them in the food processor. I mashed up this avocado right here with just a fork, and I added a little bit of some bottled water to it to get it to a really smooth consistency. I'm not done yet. It still needs to be done a little bit more, but what I'm gonna do now is add some breast milk to it so that it can get really watery, because if you're feeding your baby for the first time, you don't want them to choke, and you want this to go down really smoothly. Okay guys, so when it is all done, basically you have the avocado to a consistency that's just a bit thicker than soup. So as you can see, it's super runny and it just runs down like that. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to scoop the avocado and put it into an ice cube tray. And then once it's frozen in here, I'm going to transfer everything into a plastic bag and then put it in the freezer. Basically, you can freeze a vegetable puree up to about 6 months. But because I added some breast milk in there, and even though it's just a tiny little bit, I'm going to be on the safe side, and I'm only going to put this to be able to be frozen for about 2 months. But I guarantee you, I didn't make too much. This is going to be gone before then because he's going to start eating. But if you add any milk to your vegetable purees, you can only freeze them for up to 2 months. So I'm going to scoop the avocado into the ice cube tray, and then I'm going to show you what the next vegetable I'm going to be doing. Okay, so my avocado that I mashed up made 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 little cubes for the ice cube tray. So now that I'm done my avocado, I'm going to go check on my carrots, and they are pretty done. I've been checking on them. So I'm going to take them and strain them. So this is my food processor that I have, and basically all I'm going to do is just dump the carrots in the top and turn it on and let it do the job. So I will show you what everything looks like with my carrots as soon as I stick them through my food processor. So the carrots are all done and put through the food processor. I only had to add a tiny little bit of water to them just to make them a little bit more watery, but basically this is the consistency of the carrots. It's really nice and smooth. Everything's chopped up. And yeah, all done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into the ice cube tray, and then I'm going to wait for the carrots to cool down to room temperature before I put them in the freezer. And then I will freeze them along with the avocados. Okay, and one small carrot basically gave me 6 cubes of carrot puree to freeze. And I also have the potatoes started on the stove, and I will be mashing up my bananas next. So we are about to move on to the bananas. I put the avocados and the carrots in the freezer, so they're freezing, and now we're gonna go start the bananas. But I just wanted to show you guys, because real quick, I have a super cute little guest on me. Right, Evie? Mr. Ever wants to be close to Mama today, and he's tired. So he's gonna help me, right, Ev? He's gonna be my little, yeah, you're gonna be my little cooking buddy, right? So we're gonna go start his bananas now, guys, and I'm gonna show you what we do with them. Okay, see you soon. We have the potatoes boiling on the stove, and we're going to wait for them to get pretty soft because I'm not going to use the food processor with them. I'm going to push them through a strainer. So they have to be pretty soft to do that. So we got them on the stove, and now we are going to start the nanners. So I'm sorry if I rock now, but like I said, I have Ever attached to me. So I'm gonna mash the bananas and show you what they look like when I'm done. So I am done with the banana puree, and it is really nice and watery. I added a bit of breast milk to it, just about 2 tablespoons, and it turned out to be about like this. this consistency. One thing I did just find out while reading in my little handy dandy book is that the banana puree is not suitable for freezing. I didn't see this at first, but what I will probably end up doing is sticking it in one of these little canning jars and putting it in the refrigerator, and I might give him a couple tastes of it, or I might just give it to my other kids to eat. But at least I got to show you guys how to make a little banana puree. So I'm gonna put it in the jar now, and then we're gonna move on to our potatoes. So my potatoes are done, and what I did was I put them in the strainer. I put them over a plastic bowl, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mash them through the strainer into the bowl. And then after I mash them through the strainer, I'm just going to mash them up a little bit extra with a fork so that I can get them really nice and soft, basically like a mashed potato, obviously. And then maybe add a tiny little bit of water to make sure that it is the right consistency. Okay guys, so I put the potatoes through the strainer, and honestly this was super easy. It literally took me about 15 seconds. I mashed them, put them through, and you can see some of the potatoes on the other side. It looks like a chia pet. So there's the potato that went through. Here's the potato that's still stuck on the strainer. I am just going to basically knock the potatoes in here, if I can do this with one hand. Whatever's left, I'm going to scrape off with the fork. So yeah, that was my potato puree, and that was really simple. So I'm gonna go finish up, and I'll be right back. This is the potato puree. It is nice and thin, and seems like, I tasted it, and it seems like it would be perfect consistency for him. So all that's left to do with the potato is put it in the freezer tray and freeze it, and yeah, then we are all done. All right, so as you can see, my one very small potato, baking potato, made 8 cubes to freeze. I think I'm gonna really quickly boil another potato and add to make the to fill it up, so this is not just wasted, and then I'm gonna stick it in the freezer. Alright guys, so that is what I use to make Ever's baby food. You can find fruits and vegetables just in your refrigerator or your pantry. You don't have to go buy anything special. If you do use any canned vegetables, make sure you check the side, like I did not do, to make sure that they didn't add any sugar or salt in there. So you don't need a food processor. Don't go out and spend money on an expensive item if you do not need it. I have one on hand. I just got this one recently here in Germany, but the one that I was using before was probably, I think it was about $10, and I got it at Walmart like years ago, and it is this itty bitty little tiny one that I use for you know, almost everyday use, just to chop up my vegetables. And this thing has lasted me forever up until I got this other one, and honestly I still use this one. So you really don't need anything expensive. You can use a fork to mash most of your vegetables and fruits. You can use a blender, you can use a mixer. There's tons of other stuff that you can use, so you do not need a food processor. Also, another thing is the town that I live in has a wonderful farmer's market, and it's every Friday, and I just missed it today. So I think I will go next Friday, and I might even take you guys with me so you guys can see it. It is beautiful because I live in a farming town, and so all of these fruits and vegetables are literally coming from right down the street, and it is beautiful. The colors are wonderful, and the fruits and vegetables are so healthy and rich, and I just love it. So I'm gonna be heading there next week to go pick up some more things for him to eat. But I just wanted to show you guys how easy it is and how quick it is just to go into your refrigerator and your pantry and make baby food out of what you guys have. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any other questions or comments, leave them below. And good luck to you guys in making your own baby food, okay? Thanks guys, bye.